reverse parking. Who has access to my memoir, and why is this plagiarized? Oh, I know that. I know bait when I see it. You're thinking I'm going to go with barnacle goose because the chicks just jump off the side, and if they make it, they make it. Well, no. I'm going to go with barnacle geese because it takes two to tango.
The premise is sort of nature's unsung heroes and those that have been sort of in the shadows and haven't had the attention that, perhaps the lions and the tigers and what have you. And they often have the most interesting life histories, even though some of them are quite gross. But so we sort of set about just looking for all those stories, either that Vanessa and I come across and all the team have come across over the years, but hadn't been able to film because they weren't part of the big flashy set. Or we just have a big research team who are just basically trawling for really cool stuff. But it's usually we were looking for animals that had something really cool and unsung hero about them, even though they might be small and look a bit gross.
Or weird or smelly.
Or weird or smelly.
Unsavory, yeah.
Because, Ryan is all about, champion the underdog, the Deadpool stick. And we just felt, actually, he could do a lot for a lot of these animals.
The velvet worm is my favorite freak.
Betty, if you have a plan, I suspect you don't, now would be a good time.
The velvet worm, it shoots this gooey, gross, juicy thing that freezes its enemies. And I kind of like that. If you were to be mugged on the streets of New York City that way, that would stay with you.
Yeah, and actually it was great. At National Geographic were totally game because we were like, can we kind of break some taboos and go into areas that maybe not quite as savoury and elegant as we've done in the past, where everything is always very beautiful and perfect. And they were completely behind it.
The proboscis monkey, there's some grossness there. Just you get a little flash of the... Yeah.
We've got a 16-year-old son who kind of will watch what we make because we've done shows like Planet Earth, Frozen Planet, Queens, Disney Nature features on tigers. And he's like, yeah, it's okay. I'll watch it because you're my mum and dad. But then when he saw this one, he's like, I'm actually going to watch it.
I'm really excited by this. Certainly watch it with your young kids if you wanted to, if you're that way inclined. We respect the age rating. Obviously, National Geographic have to be mindful of the most young or squeamish parents or whatever. Would we watch it with our kids? We would.
Yeah.
But, obviously we respect the fact that not all adults have such low standards as we have.
Oh, I know that. I know bait when I see it. You're thinking I'm going to go with barnacle goose because the chicks just jump off the side, and if they make it, they make it. Well, no. I'm going to go with barnacle geese because it takes two to tango.
Our guideline still has to be that all of the science is absolutely true. The stories are true to nature and true. So that within that constraint, we then just wanted to
make it cinematic,
make it as entertaining as we possibly could. We've worked quite a lot in wildlife feature films and in other genres. I think one of the things that's different about this series is we worked with Ryan's company Maximum Effort right from the beginning to just sort of work on all of the stories.
Yeah, a brilliant thing when we came up with the idea and cut a trailer, and we kind of went, the obvious person to do this is Ryan Reynolds, and we were thinking, well, we'll never get him. And we pitched to his company and they spoke to Ryan. He was like, I love it. And And we were like, well, the best way to sell it, if you're really behind this, is, oh my God, wouldn't it be great if Ryan would do the sizzle? And
he narrated the trailer in his trailer.
The same day, we were like, oh, Ryan's done it. He did it in his trailer between takes.
It's true that Mom here wandered off, left her newborn baby alone, surrounded by serial baby eaters, which is weirdly the name of my first band.
And initially, when we listened to the voice, we were like, oh, it's not funny, it's deadpan.
We put it on the picture and it was hysterical.
God, his comic timing is incredible.
Honey badger. I like the honey badger because the honey badger is can take a licking and keep on ticking. It's the Casio of Mother Nature. And it is almost indestructible. I don't know why we go with these silly superheroes like Wolverine when you have the honey badger also happens to be part of the same weasel family, but it's indestructible. I think we missed something here. I feel like we really missed an opportunity. And I'm going to talk to Marvel about this later today on the call that they won't take.
So we heard about this story, which was that a group of pearlfish, I bet you haven't seen that one, which basically take sanctuary in a sea cucumber's butthole. And we were like, no, come on, I've not seen that.
I'd have seen, if that was true, I'd have seen it.
Yeah, we were quite skeptical, and the scientists were like, no, it's definitely, and when you get in there, it's like a biodiversity hotel.
Whole ecosystem lives up a sea cucumber.
It's a sea cucumber's butt. So we were very skeptical. We were like, okay, if the team, you got to prove to us, because we've been around and done it in the natural history space, and they sure enough came back with that scene where you see the fish reversing into the sea cucumber's butt, and it's absolutely amazing. That for me was like, okay.
And Ryan's lines, ooh, reverse parking.
Yeah.
I love sloths, and I quite like the sort of the Zootopia gag of the sloth doing everything in super slow motion. And we filmed this sloth coming to the ground to take a poop, but it's a lovely story that goes a bit deeper, because the only reason sloths do this is because they have moths that live on their fur, and they rely on these moths because the moths basically poop on the fur and the poop turns green and it gives the sloth camouflage. The trouble is that when the poop lay their eggs, they have to lay their eggs on sloth poo. So the sloth has to climb to the ground to lay a poo so that his moths can go off and lay their eggs on his poo, and then they climb back on the sloth and go back up into the tree with the sloth and then carry on keeping the sloth green for it. But if the sloth doesn't come down and offer them a place for them to lay their eggs, then he has no moss and he's not green, and then he's at risk of being eaten by harpy eagles. So that's a lovely sort of circle of life, but in a particularly gross way.
And no one had actually filmed the moths actually doing that before. We had special cameras and lenses to do it.
It's hard to know if anyone has filmed it and just not broadcast it.
Or it's amateur.
But we love the... I was actually there when they were filming the wild dogs attacking a honey badger. And the wild dogs piling onto this honey badger and trying to pull it apart, and of course have absolutely no luck, because what the wild dogs didn't realise is that honey badgers are utterly indestructible. Pretty much can't be killed. But that's an amazing scene, actually, in the opening show, which I think is a cracker. I've also never seen... there's a Brazilian beetle whose larvae warns off ants with these poop sticks, and all the larvae get together, and when the ants approach the larvae trying to eat the larvae, in synchrony they all wave these lumps of poop on sticks, and it's like a load of parents waving dirty nappies or something. It's like the ultimate deterrent. Everything, the ants just run away.
Oh, I love science for so many reasons, because I think there's probably think of 8 or 9 different instances in which I would be dead without science. So I love science. I embrace it. In fact, today, I'm not kidding, I was walking home from dropping my kids off at school, and I saw I love science shirt. And I told the person that I said it. I said, I love your shirt. So that's funny that you asked me that. Yeah, science is an amazing thing. Mother Nature is an amazing thing. So complicated and so kind of interconnected with science in so many ways.
It's all about, you know, now more than ever, we need to get people re-engaging with the natural world. Biodiversity is really important to protect. And I think, you know, at a serious level, finding a different way in to kind of deal with, actually, it's not just saving polar bears and lions and tigers that's important. We've got to save all of these animals. They're all cool. And, you know, just finding a way to make learning about science and nature fun and entertaining so that
I think that's
teenagers will watch.
Yeah, and engaging the right audience, which is young people.
Yeah.
With the natural world, you know, that's so important. And also, if you think that wildlife shows are all starting to look the same and the same animals and the same stories, then don't not watch this because you think it's going to be like that. These are new stories. It's general new revelation, and hopefully it's entertaining.
Yeah,
we've certainly had a lot of fun making it anyway.